What really happened on that fateful day, June 28, 1914, when Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria and his wife Sophie were assassinated in Sarajevo? The event that would change the course of history, leading to World War I, remains shrouded in mystery. As we delve into the details, we find that the assassination occurred while they were being driven through the provincial capital of Bosnia and Herzegovina, a region annexed by Austria-Hungary in 1908. The assassination was carried out by Gavrilo Princip, part of a group of 6 Bosnian assassins coordinated by Danilo Ilic, with the support of the Black Hand, a Serbian secret nationalist group. This group, established in May 1911, had been involved in previous attempts to disrupt the region's stability. As we explore the events leading up to the assassination, we must ask, what drove these individuals to commit such a heinous act? The Black Hand, led by figures such as Dragutin Dimitrijevic, Vojislav Tankovic, and Raid Malababic, played a significant role in the assassination. They provided the assassins with bombs and pistols, and their influence extended beyond the borders of Serbia. As we examine the complex web of alliances and rivalries in the region, it becomes clear that the assassination was not an isolated event, but rather the culmination of a series of tensions and conflicts. The assassins, mostly young and idealistic, were driven by a desire for independence and self-determination. 5 of the 6 assassins were under 20 years old at the time of the assassination, and their actions were shaped by the complex history of the region. As we consider the motivations behind the assassination, we must also look at the broader context of the Balkans in the early 20th century. The aftermath of the assassination saw the assassins tried in Sarajevo in October 1914, with 25 people indicted. Gavrilo Princip was sentenced to 20 years in jail, while the 4 other attackers received jail terms. The trial was a significant moment in the unfolding drama, as the world watched to see how the events would play out. But what about the masterminds behind the assassination, the leaders of the Black Hand? The Black Hand was eventually disbanded in 1917, and 3 of its leaders were executed. The consequences of the assassination were far-reaching, leading to the outbreak of World War I. As we reflect on the events of June 28, 1914, we are reminded of the complex and often deadly nature of politics and nationalism. But what about the historical context that led to the assassination, the complex web of alliances and rivalries in the Balkans? The Treaty of Berlin, signed in 1878, had recognized the Principality of Serbia as a fully sovereign state, while Austria-Hungary received the mandate to occupy and administer the Ottoman Vilayet of Bosnia. This set the stage for the complex rivalries and tensions that would eventually lead to the assassination. As we explore the historical context, we must consider the roles of key figures such as Emperor Franz Joseph and King Alexander I Obranović. The complex history of the region, with its many twists and turns, ultimately led to the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand. The event was the spark that ignited the flames of war, drawing in nations from across Europe. As we look back on the events of June 28, 1914, we are reminded of the enduring power of nationalism and the devastating consequences of conflict. The day of the assassination, June 28, is also known as Vidovdan in Serbia, commemorating the 1389 Battle of Kosovo. This historical event had a profound impact on the Serbian people, shaping their identity and informing their actions. As we consider the motivations behind the assassination, we must also look at the cultural and historical context of the region. The assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand was not an isolated event, but rather the culmination of a series of tensions and conflicts in the region. The complex web of alliances and rivalries, the historical context, and the cultural and nationalistic sentiments all contributed to the events of June 28, 1914. As we reflect on the assassination, we are reminded of the enduring power of nationalism and the devastating consequences of conflict. The trial of the assassins and the subsequent execution of the Black Hand leaders were significant moments in the aftermath of the assassination. The events of June 28, 1914 had far-reaching consequences, shaping the course of history and leading to the outbreak of World War I. As we look back on the events of that fateful day, we are reminded of the complex and often deadly nature of politics and nationalism. The story of the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand is a complex and fascinating one, full of twists and turns. As we explore the events leading up to the assassination, we are reminded of the enduring power of nationalism and the devastating consequences of conflict. The events of June 28, 1914 will forever be etched in history as a turning point, a moment that changed the course of the world.